MLB The Show 22 and Pro Yakyu Spirits 2021 are the two current full sim-style baseball games on the Switch at the moment. Now, while both games definitely have their strengths and weaknesses, they're both awesome and they shouldn't be ignored, especially if you're a baseball fan. Now, even with that said, some of you out there might be wondering about some of the differences between the games when it comes to visuals. Well, today, that's what we're going to take a look at in this visual journey comparing The Show 2022 and Pro Yakyu Spirits 2021. Let's go ahead and get into it. Danny from the Famicast here. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. Leave us a comment down below and we may read it out on our bi-weekly show called the Famicast. Today though, we're taking a look at how MLB The Show 22 and Pro Yakyu Spirits 2021 on the Switch stack up against each other. Now, before we kick things off in earnest, I just wanted to note that even though Pro Spirits 2021 has the 2021 moniker in the title, the game features full support for both the 2021 and 2022 Japanese baseball seasons. Gotta love that 2-year release cycle. Well, anyways, one thing I really wanted to focus on here was talking about one major thing that is drastically different for both games, and that is the frame rate. Now, Pro Spirits 2021 is pretty smooth, throughout the whole experience, while The Show 22 is, it's all over the place, and you'll know, especially if you've played it. Now, even with that said, I still had quite a bit of fun with the show on the Switch, in spite of these frame rate inconsistencies. Now, you're probably asking yourself, maybe why does the show run so poorly in the Switch while Spirits run so smoothly? Well, I think the easy cop-out answer is that Spirits just seems to be better optimized, for the Switch. Now, by and large, I do believe that, but I think there are some other reasons to dive into here to help explain that, basically what's going on the visual front. And here too, this is going to basically highlight some of the visual differences between the games, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Now, the general character models in the show appear to be a little bit more complex than those found in Spirits. Now, both games do have more or less like a base character model that ranges from like skinny to huge. Now, it seems to me like the models in the show just sport more detail in general. I think this is really apparent with the uniforms. I mean, the uniforms here themselves appear to have a slight movements to the fabric, which actually helps add to the realism in my opinion, but probably hampers things like the frame rate. Now in Spirits, I think it's a little bit different here because the jerseys and uniforms are a little bit more static, and the sleeves, you can kind of just see here, they're staying in place and kind of clipping other parts of the body more often than what you would see in the show. Now, of course, facial animations are present in both games, but I think MLB The Show is a clear winner here in this regard. I mean, facial animations in this game range from players reacting in very expressive ways to things that are more subtle, like little smirks or the look of talking to themselves while walking up to the plate, or even just getting annoyed after taking like a bad call or something like that. I mean, these things really add to the realism, and I think they look great. These kind of things are also, like I said, present in Spirits, but I don't think they're as pronounced. Not only that, but I think the faces can look a little bit odd, especially when you look at them in angles in Spirits. So just in terms of like that, I think MLB The Show does have the edge over here in this case, but this might be another thing that kind of hampers the game again when it comes to frame rate. Now, this next one is one that I can't really figure out. I can't put my finger on this because I think the stadiums in both The Show 22 and Spirits 21 are rich in detail and offer plenty of lifelike signage, all sorts of stuff that makes you really feel that, like, wow, they really nailed it here. The biggest difference here, I think, between both of these games is the crowd. Now, the stadiums in Spirits are seemingly always packed with crowd people, like people in the crowd, while the show varies based on, well, I'm not sure exactly. I mean, both games do seem to try to keep them out of the picture as much as they possibly can, presumably to give both of these engines more juice, for the players and whatever else is going on screen. Now, for the show on the Switch, I think there were some drastic cutbacks, because I mean, you just look at the crowd sometimes. Sometimes you'll see like a lot of people in there. Sometimes you'll just see like a handful. So it's kind of weird. You really don't have this problem that much in Spirits. Again, maybe it's just a thing with Konami being a little bit more tricky with kind of showing what's on screen, and then when they are on the screen, they'll make it so they seem like there's a lot more. I don't know, but yeah, that might have something to do with performance for the show on the Switch, but it does seem like San Diego Studios did kind of realize that, when they were doing their basically demo thing back in February 2022, they seemed like they had a heck of a lot more people in the crowd, but then they took them out, but it kind of fixed things, but there's still kind of some issues there. But anyways, these are just kind of like my theories so far, but I'll just go ahead and run some more footage here to give you some more looks at the game, so you can be the judge of not only these things that I just discussed, but of some other things that maybe you'll notice. So let's go ahead and have a look. And there you have it. Now this is just a quick look at both games comparing how things are visually. Now of course there's a lot more to both of these games than their looks, and also just to be clear, I love both these games and I'm really happy that we have these kind of options to go to on the Switch. But let's go ahead and turn things over to you guys. What other visual differences did you notice here? Is there anything in particular that annoys you, or is there something that you absolutely love? Definitely sound off in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to check out our reviews for both The Show 2022 on the Switch and Spirits 2021 that we've linked up in the description box below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you like what you see, please feel free to drop this video a like. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe. We've got tons of podcasts, video reviews, looks at Japanese games, and a whole lot more. Again, this is Danny from the Famicast. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.